why they say being impartial is important for the international body. And I'll be speaking live with the Prime Minister of the East Turkistan Government in Exile. What he's saying about the many crises under the Biden administration, especially the ongoing atrocities against the ethnic minorities in China, and why it has not been getting much mainstream media attention. Today's Tuesday, March 8th, and this edition of One American News starts right now. Hello and thanks for being here. I'm Alicia Summers. There are multiple crises going on under the Biden administration. The war in Ukraine is an emerging humanitarian crisis growing by the day. Some argue the U.S. should have acted sooner. Then we have the crisis at the southern border. Many are outraged it has been neglected for more than a year. And since 2014, there's been a huge humanitarian crisis in China, the genocide against the Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang. It's not getting much mainstream attention, even though innocent people are being severely tortured, raped, indoctrinated, and even killed. Joining me now is the Prime Minister of the East Turkistan Government in Exile, Salih Hudayar. Welcome to the show, Prime Minister.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you just wrapped up a protest in front of DHS. We will get to that protest in just a minute, but first I want to ask you, why has China been committing these horrific crimes against humanity? And why is this crisis not getting as much mainstream attention?
China's ongoing genocide in East Turkestan dates back really to its occupation and colonization of East Turkestan. East Turkestan is strategically vital. It's rich in natural and mineral resources. And China's desire to expand westward into Central Asia is one of the main reasons that it's engaging in genocide against the Uyghur and other Turkic peoples of East Turkestan.
How is that a justification? Are they trying to say they're trying to prevent terrorism as well?
One of the main excuses for the mass internment of Uyghurs in East Turkestan is so-called vocational training, counterterrorism, or anti-separatism or counter-extremism efforts. But this is just an excuse that the Chinese government has been using. Over the decades, it has consistently demonized the Uyghurs as foreign barbarians, as counter-revolutionaries, foreign capitalists, foreign devils, and after 9/11, as terrorists.
You know, aside from Inez Cantor-Freedom, the former Celtics player, this is not getting much attention. Why?
Well, one of the main reasons is that China has, seemingly become powerful in terms of economics and politics. So it has a wide range of influence, and it's using that influence to essentially buy the silence of the international community, including governments across the world.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It sounds like a lot of corruption. Heart-wrenching images of the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine have been filling our news feeds. We're not really seeing any of those images coming out of the concentration camps in Xinjiang. Also, like you said, the U.S. has many business ties with China. Do you think that has anything to do with the lack of media attention?
Yes, this is one of the main reasons. Also, the fact that, the Chinese government does not allow foreign media into East Turkestan. The lack of access by foreigners, into East Turkestan is one of the main reasons why there's not enough, information or news about what's happening. But also because of the ties that certain media companies or the owners of those media companies have with China.
Again, sounds like a lot of corruption. Okay, so one of the part owners of the Golden State Warriors, Kamath Palihapitiya, he recently said, nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs. Do you think his attitude is telling about why more hasn't been done to help these innocent people?
Absolutely. I mean, for example, what's happening in Ukraine, the international community, including the United States, has waged, has implemented numerous sanctions, boycotts, and even enacting flow-level decoupling with Russia. But on the case of the Uyghurs, the genocide, which is recognized as a genocide by the United States government, there hasn't been much similar actions in regards to that. And so we feel that this is because of business interests and other political issues that many of us are not quite aware of.
What about what's happening in our own backyard? Border Patrol says a record-setting 2 million border crossings arrived at our southern border last year. 100,000 illegal migrants are flooding across our southern border each month. This is from Border Patrol. This is no doubt straining DHS, where you are at today. It's also straining Border Patrol agents and our resources. And then even self-proclaimed minors are reportedly being flown into states like Florida and New York in the middle of the night. What does all of this say to you about the priorities of our administration?
Well, for example, the United States government has, recognized it as a genocide. They have been, giving priority refugee status to Afghans. They have designated Ukraine as temporary protective status. But despite recognizing the situation in East Turkestan as a genocide, they have failed to do so with the Uyghurs. And so we have been calling on the U.S. government to uphold its genocide designation and to grant Uyghurs asylum here in the United States and to save other Uyghurs who are at risk of being deported from other countries across the world.
Yeah, meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of so-called gotaways have poured across our southern border. We don't know where they are. We're going to talk about your protest now. Biden is reportedly requesting Congress to approve $10 million in U.S. taxpayer money for military and humanitarian aid for Ukraine and allies. And then again, like we mentioned, our southern border, Biden is reportedly burning about $6 million every day in taxpayer money to not build the border wall. Meanwhile, Americans are paying more for everything. Inflation is at a 40-year high. Gas, now the average price is over $4 a gallon. Given this administration's track record, do you think your protest today at DHS fell on deaf ears?
Unfortunately, I have to say, given the events that occurred at the demonstration, the fact that no DHS official was willing to come out to, meet with the demonstrators, we feel like there has been, falling on deaf ears. And this is not the first time that we have been making these calls. We've been repeatedly making these calls for the past, year, especially since the genocide designation. And there hasn't been anything, meaningful done to date.
Yeah, well, Salih Hudayar, Prime Minister of East Turkistan Government in Exile, thanks for your time. Our heart is with you. Keep the fight going and best of luck to you.